Hi, my name is Abdul Hafiz, and I will talk about global warming as a global issue. Global warming depends on many factors, and the main factor is greenhouse gases. Average surface temperature on Earth have risen by about 1.1 Celsius in the past 100 years. The gases that contribute to the greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, hydrofluorocarbons, perfluorocarbons, sulfur hexafluoride, and nitrogen trifluoride. And here I will talk about major greenhouse gases from people's activities. According to the chart, most of greenhouse gases comes from carbon dioxide, and the rest comes from methane, nitrous oxide, fluorinated gases, and other gases. Many of greenhouse gases are extremely long-lived in the atmosphere, from tens to hundreds of years after being released, and this will affecting climate, including surface air and ocean temperature, precipitation, and sea levels. Most of greenhouse gases comes from carbon dioxide, and it stays in the atmosphere from 50 to thousands of years. And methane, it stays in the atmosphere about 12 years. Other greenhouse gases that stay in the atmosphere for a long time is chlorofluorocarbons. This gas damages the Earth's ozone layer, so the countries of the world have joined together and agreed to stop using these chemicals. Emissions of chlorofluorocarbons are already decreasing, and they will continue to decrease over time. And most of nitrous oxide comes from farming practices that add extra nitrogen to soil, such as applying lots of fertilizer. There is bacteria that live in the soil that turn this extra nitrogen into nitrous oxide, and this gas stay in the atmosphere about 114 years. Also, fluorinated gases can be released by leaky refrigerators, freezers, and air conditioners in cars and homes. Some of this gas stay in the atmosphere for thousands of years. Global temperature has increased since 1880. Most of this increase has occurred since 1975. After that, since 1960, each decade has been warmer than the last. The black line shows atmospheric carbon dioxide concentration in parts per million. Red bars show temperature above the long-term average, and blue bars indicate temperature below the long-term average. And here I will talk about major impacts of climate change. Change to ocean temperature, change to ocean current, localized salinity change, sea level rise, ocean acidification, increase in severe weather events, invasive species, change to habitats and food supply. Change to ocean temperature. Most marine organisms reproduce in response to temperature, and phytoplankton bloom in response to light and temperature cause. Changes will impact food webs, and migration are in response to temperature. The ocean contains 97% of the free water on our planet and 86% of the evaporation and 78% of the precipitation occurs over the ocean. Change to ocean current. There are two types of ocean currents: surface currents and deeper ocean currents. Surface currents, which are caused by winds that are fueled by energy from the sun. This current transfers heat from the tropic to the polar regions. Deeper ocean currents, which are caused by change in density as a result of changing temperature and salinity. Localized salinity change. Salinity is a major factor in climate change because it can affect the depth of mixing at the sea surface. Also, rainfall, runoff from land, and ice melt all reduce salinity by increasing the amount of fresh water. Evaporation increases salinity by decreasing the amount of fresh water. Sea level rise. As glaciers and ice sheets melt, the runoff causes sea level to rise. Because ocean water is warming and water expands in volume as it warms, the wastewater that enters rivers and the excess irrigation water that runs off farmland eventually reach the ocean. That will adding to sea level rise. Increases of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere produce a positive radiative forcing of the climate system and a consequent warming of surface temperature and rising sea level caused by thermal expansion of the warmer seawater. Ocean acidification. Carbon dioxide absorbed by the ocean makes it more acidic. Global ocean has decreased by 0.1 pH unit. In addition to the carbon dioxide from natural sources that it absorbs, the ocean absorbs about 30% of the carbon dioxide emitted into the atmosphere by humans. Consequently, seawater worldwide is becoming more acidic. When carbon dioxide is absorbed by seawater, a series of chemical reactions occurs, resulting in the increased concentration of hydrogen ion. This increase causes the seawater to become more acidic and causes carbonate ions to be relatively less abundant. And carbonate ions are an important building block of structure, such as sea shells and coral skeleton. Decreases in carbonate ions can make building and maintaining shells and other calcium carbonate structure difficult for calcifying organisms, such as oysters, clams, deep sea coral, and it makes it harder for some fish to detect predators or to find a suitable habitat. Over time, carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has been rising. This has led to an increase in the absorption of carbon dioxide into the ocean. This affects the pH of the ocean by making it more acidic. Increase in severe weather events. Hurricanes need warm water to form, and warming of ocean waters may increase the number of hurricanes or their intensity. Invasive species changes to habitats and food supply. Invasive species, non-native species that adversely affect a habitat. Warmer waters make it easier for invading species to gain a foothold.